guess first and foremost, I'd like to say, I couldn't be more proud of our players and kind of everything they put into it. What Caleb did for us today was really heroic. Our kids played really hard. We just didn't take quality swings for the most part. And I think it's because our kids were really trying too hard. We had so many bang-bang plays at first base, and our kids were just running their heart out. Cody Freeman's running a 4.25. Just to give you a little hint, an average runner in our league runs 4.4, which is what he is, but he ran 4.25 at first base because he's trying to bust it. He's trying to help us win. Everybody is chipping in, doing everything they can, and it just didn't happen for us today. I'm more disappointed for our kids than for anybody else because outside of everything else, that could happen as a result of other games, I wanted our kids to win this game, and they wanted to win this game. They wanted to go out and claim something for themselves, not have to rely or worry about other people. But I couldn't be more proud of those guys and what they did for us.
When you're down to the final game like you were today, how do you handle all the scenario stuff? Did you say anything to the kids before the game or even during the game about it?
No, we just, it's pretty easy. We said, you win this game, you're SEC champions. And we didn't, at least partial SEC champions of the West, and that hadn't been done since 1989. Either the overall or divisional play hadn't been done since '89. I told them, you can make history today, and they came out with real fire. And I was really proud of the way our kids came out and treated this ballgame. It just didn't happen for them today, and I'm so disappointed for them because of how much they put into it.
How much does it mean, though, just, at one point during the season, you're on the outside looking in and you kind of claw your way into the picture and you're in the tournament?
It certainly means a lot, and that's why you play 56 of these things in regular season. Of course, when I was playing, it was 65 of them. You play 65 and no Arkansas and no South Carolina, so it's changed a little bit, but, I think our kids just viewed it a little bit differently. They've been trying to knock down that stinking door, and I think they've been knocking that door down all year, but it just would have been an exclamation point for them.
What point during the game, or did you know during the game that y'all had qualified to the Auburn Tennessee School?
Well, I still don't know that. I'm hearing that came from Chuck Dunlop, and I don't doubt Chuck one little bit, but I'm going to have to I'm going to have to see it for myself because I guess being an old English major, the equation here is I'm gonna have to see that for myself. But obviously I trust that we're in, and I'm pleased with that. But that's a scenario that I don't think anybody was talking about last night. So I guess I'm gonna have to see that on a blackboard or something. Maybe Matt, you had it figured out. You did not provide that scenario for me last night.
I did.
Did anybody have that scenario?
Auburn losing? No, probably not.
Again, Tennessee?
Yeah.
Well, what about this whole weekend around the conference? It's just a bizarre weekend.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the Arkansas Ole Miss thing. If everything I'm hearing about us being in is true, you don't even know who to root for at this point in time. Of course, we didn't even go into this thing trying to root for anybody except for ourselves, and we came up short. But these kids deserve to keep on playing, so at least for now, it's good to hear that they will keep playing.
What happened with Stratton? Did he just miss an arm side again?
Yeah, when you just start counting the amount of barrel contact, and then he hit the kid in the head. Although I didn't think that was a horrendous pitch after seeing it on the scoreboard there. When he hit the kid in the head, I felt like he lost command. But again, his fastball was good. I thought his breaking ball was good at times. But the whole game was in that third inning, and we're sitting here going, we got to have our best guy here when the game matters the most. And the game matters the most at different times. In this game, it was the third inning, and we had to get Caleb in there because he's our best guy. And this isn't the best he's pitched all year, but Caleb pitches to contact. We got to get the double play ball. We got to get him to hit some balls at us, and he didn't. And then we hit some balls at people, but that's baseball. And his credit to LSU, they hung in there and kept competing, and so did we, and it just didn't happen for us.
Assuming Chuck is right that you're in, how do you spend the next couple of days?
Well, obviously we'll meet tomorrow, and we'll prepare, and we'll get a schedule together, and we'll do all the things that we've been doing. We'll try and line up our pitching and see where we stack up, and see who we play and start watching film and all that good stuff.
Pretty crucial play on the at first in Parks, and then you get ejected. I feel like that could turn the game a little bit.
Yeah. The thing is, when a guy's running that hard and playing that hard, he feels like he's safe. I specifically asked the umpire if he said any obscenities. He said no. but the fact that he slammed his helmet, makes him ejectable. What I really wanted to know is what he said to the umpire, and I was really pleased to hear that, he didn't say anything. I guess it's just the direction of the helmet, Jared Parks is competing his tail off, and man, there's so much at stake. You can't blame him for having a 1 second eruption like that.
I know I'm looking way far ahead, but just with the way the SEC's been this year, do you feel like it's a tournament field where anybody can pretty much win it?
Yeah, I think so. It really depends on what the guys who are out in front want to do with their pitching. That usually alters what's going to happen. The SEC tournament, most people who know for sure that they are going to be in the NCAA might, take their 1 and 2 and rest them a little bit more since it's a shortened work week. SEC tournament starting on a Wednesday, that's really going to shorten your guy. You have to make some tough decisions there. For us, we're going to feel like we need to get in there and get some wins if we're actually in.
John, LSU's not going to be in that field, but I would imagine you thought NCAA.
Oh, there's no question. My goodness. If they're not one of the best 64 teams in the country, I need to eat this piece of paper here. That's ridiculous. And I know it's a tough job on that committee, but any reasonable people who looks at RPI and everything else, if LSU's not in the tournament, that's ridiculous. But again, they have a very difficult job, and when you have automatic bids, boy, it really changes how difficult your job actually is. And when automatic bid teams aren't the teams that win their league, that really throws a wrench into it. But yeah, LSU is, for me, they're in the field of 64 for sure.
Feel like y'all are too. Don't project them.
I'd like to, but I have to be honest with you. From where we started 2 years ago, into year 3 here, I just feel like we have to earn everything. You can't rest on your laurels. You have to earn everything. So, I like our RPI. I like our strength of schedule. I like all those other little statistics that are in Boyd's World and in the nitty-gritty on the other one. And I like all that, but we got to keep competing because we just can't take anything for granted.
Coach, you talked about how hard it's been the last couple of years, but 6 wins last year. Can you talk about the jump from 6 wins last year to what you've done this year?
Yeah, we're just so proud of our kids. They've all grown. They're all better. Every single player in our program we feel like is better in one way or another, and that's that makes you feel good as a coach because it makes you feel like you have the right people in your program. And that's 90% of it, is having the right kids. And we just believe in this group so much. And that's not diminishing any of the kids we had a year ago because I appreciate everything they did for us too. But these kids, from day one, the amount of work, effort they put into it, from when you go out in the summer league, and you take the little ribbing from your buddy who, hey, when are you guys going to make the SEC tournament? Hey, when are you going to get in the NCAA? That kind of ribbing. You take that stuff personally, and our kids, I feel like we haven't fully turned the corner, but we're really close to knocking that door down.